Today we're going to be developing the optimal trading strategy. But don't worry, this isn't one of those get rich quick schemes. I'm not going to sit here in a rent and murk and tell you to buy my course. Actually, it's probably quite the opposite, because all our trades are going to be decided by live streamers who don't have the slightest what's happening. And to take it a step further, we're employing the foolproof strategy of trading based entirely on emotion. That's right, today we're not investing, we're gambling. Now the big question, how do we gauge the emotions of our beloved streamers? Face analysis? Absolutely not. Most people sit watching YouTube with a blank expression and call it content. If you held that expression for long enough in a hospital, you'd get fucking switched off. So instead, let's use audio.
No, yeah. I'm happy for that, but I've seen some of these documentaries, I ain't believe none of that.
Not much better, but it'll do. First thing I'm going to do is extract the words being said on stream, otherwise known as transcribing. The simplest way of doing this is AI, of course. So I wrote this masterpiece of a Python script, which takes the audio from the stream and passes it through this random model I found online. And we get this perfectly transcribed audio.
Tus comments dips. Log in.
Huh? Actually, most streamers are either incapable of speaking coherently or use non-existent words.
No.
So we may need to go a bit more hardcore here. Like switching to using OpenAI's Whisper model, which provides all these additional things like VAD pre-processing and phenome-based ASR. I mean, I've got no fucking clue. And after all that, we can somewhat manage to transcribe XQC.
The problem with this is that no one would fall for this, that it's real.
A miracle, honestly. Now that's all good, but what I really care about is the sentiment. And I know fuck all about this. But a quick Google search pointed to this guy called Bert, who's apparently pretty good at it. But I'm going to use his slightly beefier cousin, Distilbert, and for each sentence, he'll tell me the sentiment ranging from very negative to very positive.
Is it smart enough to know it's the next day to then do another Wailing Caverns, or is it only going to have me do it once? I don't know. Probably. It doesn't do any repeats. Okay, so it's going to have me do it all once. Honestly, that's probably fine.
Now you're probably wondering how this ties into trading. Each streamer will have a selection of 3 stocks. Each sentence said live will be rated against the 5 sentiment groups and trigger either a buy or a sell order. You can probably guess negative means sell, positive means buy. The very is just a 2x multiplier, bit like slots. Obviously this means that something positive must be said to buy a stock, which instantly makes it difficult for anyone that plays League.
You stupid sons of bitches!
Finally, neutral will switch the stock. Originally I only used one stock, but because this is day trading, if that stock was doing really shit, then they'd make absolutely no money. I've picked 3 streamers to test this out on, and I've given each of them 100 grand and an hour to trade. Of course, it's only paper money, because unlike certain people, I can't give something with almost no brain that kind of money to burn. Now before we start, don't expect these people to be making thousands of pounds, like this is only over an hour, so you're looking in maybe the tens of pounds. First up was Forzen. Forzen ran in the positive for the most part, getting up to almost 60 quid in profit, but eventually he couldn't hold the snipers back any longer, and the Ugandan trading algorithms failed. So in the end, he ended up with a loss of almost 90 quid. Next up was Lyric, and he spent the whole time fighting a Souls-like boss, which didn't go too great for him.
Oh my god, dude.
But on the opposite side, the trading went really well. He was up almost 140 quid at one point, but eventually it leveled out at around 90 quid, which cancelled out Forzen's loss. Next up, Asman. I didn't really monitor this one because I couldn't bear to watch this guy for very long. And his trading was almost as bad as his takes because he was down the entire time, reaching over negative 100 quid, but eventually he ended up at about minus 70.